Imagine this. Every time you buy something, the planet doesn't just suffer a little less. It actually gets a little better. The soil becomes healthier, water systems recover, biodiversity returns, ecosystems begin to heal. That is the idea behind one of the biggest mindset shifts of 2026. Not just a sustainable economy, but a regenerative economy. For years, sustainability was the goal. And to be fair, it was an important one. Sustainability taught us to reduce waste, cut emissions, use fewer resources, and try not to damage the planet any further. It was about minimizing harm, doing less bad, trying to bring our impact closer to zero. But here's the problem. Zero is no longer enough, because the world is not starting from a healthy baseline. Forests have already been cleared, soils have already been depleted, rivers have already been polluted, species have already disappeared, the climate has already been destabilized. So if the planet is already wounded, then simply causing less damage is not the same as healing it. And that is exactly why the conversation is changing. The new question is no longer, how do we make our economy less destructive? The new question is, how do we build an economy that actively restores what has been broken? That is the regenerative mindset. This is the difference in simple terms. A sustainable model says, let's stop making things worse. A regenerative model says, let's make things better. Sustainability is defensive. Regeneration is creative. Sustainability tries to reduce the negative. Regeneration tries to create a net positive impact. That means human activity should not only avoid harm, it should improve the systems it touches. And once you see that difference, you realize this is not just an environmental trend. It is a completely different philosophy of progress. Take agriculture, for example. Traditional industrial agriculture often focuses on output, above everything else. Produce more, faster, cheaper, and in the short term that can work. But in many cases, the hidden cost has been enormous. Topsoil is lost, microbial life disappears, water retention weakens, fields become more dependent on chemicals, and over time the land becomes less alive. Regenerative agriculture flips that logic. Instead of treating soil like a machine, it treats soil like a living system. The goal is not just to grow crops. The goal is to rebuild fertility, restore microbial ecosystems, increase biodiversity, improve water cycles, and strengthen the land year after year. In other words, the farm is no longer just a production site. It becomes a tool for restoring the ecosystem. And that is a radical change, because now growth and healing are no longer opposites. The same shift is happening in cities. For a long time, the best we hoped for was efficiency, less energy use, lower emissions, less waste. Again, those things matter. But regenerative design asks a more ambitious question. What if buildings could do more than reduce harm? What if they could actually contribute to ecological recovery? What if the materials we build with could store carbon? What if urban systems could clean water, support biodiversity, and improve the local environment? What if development did not just consume nature, but helped rebuild it? That is the new frontier. The city is no longer just a place where humans live. It becomes a place that can participate in repair. And that brings us to the deeper shift behind all of this. For a long time, green consumption was tied to guilt. Use less, waste less, pollute less, take fewer flights, buy fewer things, feel bad about your footprint. But guilt is not a very powerful long-term engine. It can trigger awareness, but it rarely inspires people. Regeneration offers a different emotional logic. Not guilt, but pride. Not I am avoiding harm, but I am contributing to healing. That is a completely different kind of motivation. People do not just want to feel less responsible for damage. They want to feel part of something meaningful. They want their choices to matter in a positive way. And that is why the regenerative economy has such strong cultural power. It changes the story of consumption itself. Instead of asking, how can I consume with less damage? It asks, how can my choices create more life? That is a much stronger story. It is more hopeful, more ambitious, more human. And for brands, businesses, and entire industries, this changes the rules. In the next era, it will not be enough to say, our product is less harmful, our packaging is recyclable, our footprint is smaller. Those are no longer the strongest messages. The brands that stand out will be the ones that can say, our product helps rebuild soil, our materials help remove carbon, Our business model restores water systems. Our growth improves the places we touch. That is what circular beyond recycling really points toward. Not just reusing waste, not just managing leftovers better, but redesigning systems so that value keeps circulating, while nature becomes stronger, not weaker. That is a far more ambitious standard, and it may become the defining economic logic of the coming decade, because the future will not be won by the companies that are simply less bad. It will be won by the companies, cities, farms, and communities that can prove they are genuinely regenerative, that they do not merely reduce destruction, they create renewal. So this is the real paradigm shift. The old goal was survival. The new goal is restoration. The old model asked how to sustain a damaged world. The new model asks how to regenerate a living one. And maybe that changes us too. Maybe the future of consumption is not about sacrifice alone. Maybe it is about participation. Maybe people will not just buy products to satisfy needs. Maybe they will choose systems, services, and brands that allow them to become part of recovery. And if that happens, then one of the most powerful economic forces of the future will not be fear. It will be meaning. So here is the question. When you make choices in the future, will you be satisfied with something that is simply less harmful? Or will you look for something that actually helps the world heal? Because the next economy may not belong to the people who do the least damage. It may belong to the people who create the most repair. And that is why sustainable may no longer be enough. The future may belong to what is regenerative. Ending. If this perspective made you think, subscribe to the channel. Here, we explore the ideas, technologies, and mindset shifts that are quietly reshaping the future of the world.